Hey y'all, it's Michael, and before I do my top 45 books of 2015, I wanted to do some honorable mentions. It was really hard for me to cut stuff down, so that's why I decided to do a top 45 essentially. I read about 200 books in 2015, then there were some books that was like strangling on the end, and so I wanted to do an honorable mention for them. So yes, let's get started. The Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling, narrated by Jim Dale. In 2015, I listened to 1 through 5. I have thoughts, you guys, because listening to this book, experiencing the story again as an adult feels really different. And I can finally see now why people have gripes with the series. I was experiencing them as I was listening to them. I should probably do a whole talk about that because I could literally ramble on forever about that topic. The other one that I wanted to mention is a series Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket, narrated by sometimes Lemony Snicket, but mainly narrated by Tim Curry. Incredible audiobook. I listened to this for the first time, so I was experiencing the story once again, and it was fantastic. Like, I love going back to this world. It's so great. I think what makes these stories really timeless is experiencing the story as an adult is really different when you're reading it as a younger kid. I definitely got more themes from the story than I did previously. It was fantastic. I loved it. I'm ready for that show whenever that's coming on. Another book that I wanted to mention is Why the Last Man by Brian K. Vaughan and a whole bunch of other people. I got through a pretty significant amount of this story, and it actually is really good, and I really enjoyed it. It's a story involving a guy who basically is the last man on Earth. The way that the story unfolds is really interesting, and I really enjoyed it. Sometimes I felt like it tried a little bit too hard, like a little too hard to be funny, a little bit too hard to be sarcastic, but I did enjoy it overall. The other one that I wanted to mention is Death Note. Oh, I didn't put the author on here. I read volumes 1 through 5. I have never watched this anime ever or read the manga. And this is the first time that I ever read the manga, and then I watched a little bit of the show. And the manga, it's good. I actually enjoy it. But there is a point, and I think it was volume 5, where I was like, ooh, yeah. It was getting almost tedious. The story is about this guy named Light who meets a Shinigami. And basically he discovers this book where when he writes down people's names, people die the way he writes it down. And so they bring in this detective by the name of L, and he's trying to solve who is killing all of these people. This book is really great that it covers themes of morality and justice. Is it right to kill a person just because they did a wrong thing? Can you be morally justified by that? The themes that it covers is really interesting, and the mystery is really intriguing. In volume 5, I don't know if it gets better, but I should probably continue, but in volume 5 I was like, ooh, this is getting a little tedious, so I feel like I need to back away from it for a while before I go back into the story. The other one that I wanted to mention is The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks by Rebecca Skloot, narrated by... This is such a great novel. It's about Rebecca Skloot as she discovers the origins of the HeLa cells. The HeLa cells is basically the name of generic cells now, I guess you could say. It's defined from Henrietta Lacks. They take the first 2 letters of her first name and 2 letters of her last name, and they make the cells out of it. And this is the cell that a lot of scientists use research on. This book is really great that it brings up the topics of what exactly are my rights? Who deserves my body after I pass away? And should my family get it? Like, there's a lot of ethical issues in the science field that this book brings up, and it's great. This is a great audiobook also. Another book that I wanted to mention that I listened to in 2015 is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, narrated by CZ Spacek. This was such a great audiobook. Oh my god, it's so good. What I love about CC Spacek's narration on here is that it felt like Scout. Like, I felt her as she was Scout. Her southern accent was just so good. And I wanted to listen to this audiobook because Go Set a Watchman came out in 2015. Now, I haven't gotten to it, and I'm so scared to just even crack the book open, because I know that it has the potential to really skew and change how I feel about To Kill a Mockingbird. Because the first time I've ever read that classic, I was like, wow, I love love this. Like, it's one of the few Southern classics that I really enjoyed reading back in high school. The other one was called Sassy Tree by Anne Burns. The other one is Missoula, Rape and the Justice System in a College Town by John Krakauer, narrated by this lovely person. I always forget to put on here who it's narrated by. I'm going so fast typing up my note, because when you read a lot, you gotta take notes, that's for sure. This one is about this football town in Missoula. The stats on rape there is really high, and why that is, essentially. This book also brings up topics of like the justice system, because I read a lot of books in 2015 that you can really see that the American justice system is completely flawed. Did I put it on here? No, I didn't put that on here, but like, I read The New Jim Crow. Oh my gosh. That book really shows you how flawed our justice system is. It is a hard book to go through, because especially when Krakauer takes personal accounts, they describe it in detail. I learned a lot from this novel, so I would recommend it. The other one that I wanted to mention is Grotesque by Natsuo Korino. This book was really interesting. This book is about two prostitutes, Yuriko and Kazui. It really showed a different side of Japanese culture that you don't really see in media, and this one got down like nitty-gritty. I really enjoyed that. Another one that I wanted to mention is a short story, but I think it made a real impact. And I wanted to mention this short story because it kind of reminded me of how I felt when I read The Lottery by Shirley Jackson for the first time. I was like, what? And then at the end I was like, whoa, what? This one is The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. Oh my god. This story, first off, you can get this free, so you should go read this. This book is about this wife who locked up by her husband, and then all of a sudden, she basically mentally breaks down as she stares into this yellow wallpaper. Really interesting story about this woman's psyche. It does bring up some feminist themes, like about the oppression of women in general. Yo, the conclusion to this, I was like, wait, what? I would recommend it, and it's a really short read and you will get a lot out of it for sure. The last one that I wanted to mention is White Oleander by Jeanette Finch. My buddy read this with Savannah. Hey Savannah! And I really had a good time buddy reading this. This book is about Ingrid, and it's basically about her relationship with her mom as she goes through the foster care system, essentially. All of these different type of women that she meets throughout her life really kind of shape her as a person. Her wanting love. It's a really good novel. I would recommend it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Those are some honorable mentions that I wanted to let you guys know before I go into this top 45. I'm gonna get a drink because I know when I film this one, it's going to be long. So yes, until then, if you read any of the books, let me know. But then I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye! You gotta go pee, Bullet? Come on, go! No? Okay. I don't know if he has to go pee or not. I gotta see if Bullet's done peeing. Does your dog pee in front of y'all? Cause mine does not.